Heck yes. Looks like I am now on the screen. Got some little clip-on earrings this time around because I used to have my ears pierced, but they are no longer pierced. I let them grow over because I guess I'm allergic to some types of metal, the most common metals that are used in ear piercing. So I just let them grow over, and now I have clip-ons. These ones I made myself because there's no way that you can find clip-on earrings like these, like at the store. Clip-on earrings are a rarity as it is. I have a variety of snacks on hand with me. So if you see me like munching on things, that's because I got some bagels, onion bagel with pesto. I also have raspberries. I also have some tea. Yes. Hi, Jessica. Good to see you. New place looks nice. Thank you. Yes, you didn't make it last week. That's right. Got some new posters up on the walls. I love it. We also have, I'll move out of the way so I can show you this absolutely dorky lamp that we have. It's delightful. Like when my roommate Alex pitched it to me, she was like, you remember how in a Goofy movie, they go to that really cheesy hotel that's all like underwater themed and stuff? And I'm like, yes. And she was like, this lamp fits that aesthetic. And I love it. And it's great. Here. Bottom lights up, top lights up, and then both light up. And now off. It's great. I love it. I had a bad headache, almost over it now. Are you sure that it's a headache and not a migraine? That sounds a bit more like a migraine. Either way, I'm glad that you're feeling a lot better. That's good. Oh, I bumped. Sorry. Okay. Actually, before I go any further, I'm going to put a little banner here on the bottom. My views are my own and do not represent the views of NeverEnding Inc. I wanted to say that because it came to my attention recently that I had made a shout out to a resource 2 weeks ago. And it has been brought to my attention that the resource that I gave a shout out to is actually faulty. I was told that the thing that I gave a shout out to actually increased police violence, and that's not something that I want to do. So I want to give a shout out to a different resource called 8 to Abolition. That's the number 8 to Abolition. So number 8, TO abolition.org. So do not do 8 can't wait. Go instead to 8 to Abolition. They actually propose on 8 to Abolition a lot of things that I am more in favor of. And I feel from having seen communities who implement these actual good long-term change in ways that a lot of community programs do not. So again, go to 8toabolition.org for more info. I also pinned the correction at the top of the live stream in the live stream that I did 2 weeks ago as a correction to let people know to go to that site instead. So just wanted to get that out there. I have learned, I've listened, I've corrected. I'm sorry that I gave the wrong shout out before. I'm hoping that with this correction, we can start moving towards safer communities in ways that do not disenfranchise the most vulnerable. All right. Catching up on comments. It came close to being a migraine. At least you're doing better now. That's good. All righty. You know what? I also want to talk about Patreon a little bit. My own personal Patreon, because I do have a Patreon page. You can find it at the link down below. I wanted to bring this up because I got an idea recently for a goal unlocking. I haven't posted it on the Patreon page yet, but I wanted to perhaps get your feedback on it. So Patreon has a feature that's kind of like Kickstarter, where it'll be like, we are this close to our next funding goal. And the funding goal can be like, once we reach X number of patrons, this thing unlocks. Once we reach this amount of funding, this thing unlocks, kind of a thing. And I was thinking about if we can get the Patreon page to $200 a month, I can unlock sticker rewards for some of the upper level pledges. Because I would like to do more sticker designs. And Patreon actually announced recently that they've partnered with a site, a fulfillment site, so that I can design the stickers and they ship it out. So that frees a lot of time on my hands. And it also means that people can actually get their stickers. This is a part of Patreon I have not tested yet. This is one of those things that I want to test. So let me know what you think of that particular idea. Oh, the other thing about Patreon that I want to talk about real fast is that starting next month in July, they're going to start charging sales tax on particular things. Now, what this means to you, the patron or potential patron, is it depends on what parts of the pledge are taxable. Every creator breaks down what's taxable and what isn't differently. Like, we, the creators, can decide what's free and what's supposed to be subject to tax, sales tax. I've structured my pledges so that $1 a month patrons do not get charged sales tax. Some of the upper level ones, like the 10 to 20s, are going to get sales tax, but only on like half of their pledge. Hopefully, if I did it right. If it does not turn out that way, please email me, let me know, because I want to make this as easy as possible on you, the patrons. There's more info about how sales tax is broken down and everything on the Patreon blog site. I'll post a link to that on my Patreon page later, but I wanted to give y'all the heads up now while I was thinking about it. Stickers are awesome. I have a bunch on my work computer. Heck yes, they're awesome. Something too that Alex, my roommate, does that I had not thought about until I saw her do this is, if there's a sticker design that you like, but you don't want to commit to sticking it on a particular surface yet, you can put magnets on the back and put them on your fridge. Because she's done that with a few stickers that she's gotten at conventions before. She just cuts out the magnet to the shape of the sticker that she's got, and then she'll stick it on the fridge. And it's great. I love it. I'm amazed that I didn't think about this before. But that's something that you can do with stickers. If you don't want to stick them onto anything, just cut out magnets to the shape of the sticker, and boom, you got it. There's also little magnet, I want to say bullets, but they're like little nubbins that you can stick onto the back of stickers as well. I've seen some crafters, and by some crafters, I mean Karen Cavett on YouTube, when she was active on YouTube. She would take segments of washi tape, cut it into strips that would fit on cardstock, Mod Podge them, and then put little magnet buttons on the back and then stick them on the fridge. And it's adorable, and I love it. That's an awesome idea. We have a very bare fridge. Yes, that's the sticker into magnets idea. Best way to go about putting magnets on the fridges. Like, it's great, and I love it. I'm shocked I didn't think about it sooner. So shout out to Alex for coming up with that idea. All right. I will be right back. I am going to take this tea bag out of my tea. Today's mug is no problema. It's adorable and I love it. All right. I will be right back. for today's live stream, I will answer questions that you post in the chat. I'm flexible today as to what to draw on the screen. And I wanted to leave that up to you who is watching, what it is that you would like to watch me draw. So there's a few different options. I could draw a page of The Legend of Jamie Roberts. I could draw some commissions that I've been asked to draw for the last couple of weeks and catch up on those. I could draw audience requests. Of those three options, what would you like to watch me draw? Let me know in the comments because I'm flexible today. Well, Coke glass full of raspberries. When I was moving, I came across some boxes of kitchenware from a previous apartment. And I was like, I don't remember everything that's in this box. I unpacked it and I discovered there were 13 Coca-Cola glasses of various sizes. And I was like, pass me. Why? Why did you do this? And it turns out I have like 3 Coca-Cola glasses of this size. And I'm like, pass me. Why? Why did you do this? I guess Pass Me really wanted to have a 1950s kitchen aesthetic. Like, I don't know. I'm content to watch you draw anything. I figured, like, you're pretty chill about a lot of things, Jessica. So, what to draw? You know what? I think I'll start with drawing some of The Legend of Jamie Roberts to start. And then if there are folks who have requests and want to see me draw something else, post it in the comments. Let me go ahead and put, oh, you know what? Ah, there it is. I was like, did I make a banner for this? Yes, I did. Thank you, Pass Me. So I'll leave this up because NeverEnding is still on Kickstarter. If you have any questions about NeverEnding on Kickstarter, like what the app is, what it's capable of, or anything like that, check out the Kickstarter campaign. This is the link to the campaign. Anything that is not answered on that site, I will answer to the best of my ability. But I also reserve the right to be like, you know what? I don't entirely know the answer to this. Let me consult with the team. So I reserve the right to say that. Keep that in mind. But check out the campaign. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Alrighty, let me get this up. Boom. Okay, everything's loading properly. Good. So I will get a page of The Legend of Jamie Roberts up, and I will work on that for a bit. I need to fix Jamie's face here. Whew. Okay. Oh, not borders. There we go. Let's set the pencil layer opacity to 50%. That way I can actually see what lines are being drawn. Oh, got to hit the U key to get these. Yoink. I'm going to get those first. M for the marquee tool, and I'm going to select about this much, maybe. Actually, let's do about that much. Trying to get it as close to the next box as possible, and Control X to cut. U key again, and about there-ish. Actually, might be better to Nah, never mind. I had an idea and I'm going to nix it. We're good. Over here, I'm going to erase these lines. I want to play around with borders for this page, which is why I'm drawing it the way that I am. Okay. There is actually a feature on Patreon to make live streams for patrons only. I want to play with that a little bit more just to see how it works. Because if it works the way that I think it will, I would like to do more patron-only live streams. They might be a once a month thing, but I would like to do more patron-only live streams. Let's try that again. There we are. It's actually been really nice this past week to catch up on some commission stuff that I haven't caught up on for a while. Now that I'm pretty much settled into the new place, I can get back to making things. Phone vibrated, but I'm pretty sure it's a non-urgent email, so I can let that sit and wait. Save progress. Okay. I'm going to try that again. Ah, geez. There. Much better. Actually, I'm going to do a thing. I'm going to play with layers. If you are watching me draw this and you have not caught up on The Legend of Jamie Roberts, you need to catch up on The Legend of Jamie Roberts. Especially right now, because what I'm drawing right now is the last page of chapter 3. And once this posts, I'm going to put the comic on hiatus for probably 2-3 weeks. I know at least 2 weeks, so that I can build some pages back up, catch up on some other things, and give readers a chance to catch up on the story that's been posted so far. I'm gonna let there we go. Just easier to play around with borders like that, just by creating another layer, drawing it, and then merging it down to the one that I was just drawing on. So it's just so much easier. There we go. Playing with layers. Ooh. Let me go back to the, oh, geez, I just realized. Been drawing on the wrong layer this whole time. So, whoosh. Paste. There we go. Thanks. Glad I caught that when I did. Okay. Sipping my tea. Today's selection is decaf Earl Grey. We do have other teas. I just haven't had them yet. I've been mostly perusing our Keurig because Alex brought a Keurig when we moved in together. I've not had a Keurig in my personal possession before. I've worked in offices that had them, so I know how they work, but I had never been in possession of one until recently. And I have been drinking a lot of coffee and hot cocoa using the Keurig. We've actually found some very good hot cocoa mixes. We found one that was a peanut butter hot cocoa. So it tastes like a Reese's peanut butter cup and it's delicious. We also found a mix that is a s'mores hot chocolate, and that's also very good. We found that at Ollie's. Don't judge us. If you're not familiar with what Ollie's is, it's a markdown store. Anytime that another business is like, oh man, we need to remainder some stuff and clear out our inventory, Ollie's is like, did I hear you say inventory clearance? And they will buy up anything that the other business is not selling and put it on their own shelves. This also means that there's a lot of books, like a lot of books, and some of them are actually quite good. A lot of them are not good, but there are some that are quite good. I actually came in possession of a decent sounding selection of books. It depends on your taste, but there have been some lucky finds from Ollie's whenever I go and check out the bookshelves, particularly in the teen reads section. It's kind of hit and miss, but when you do find a hit, they're very good hits. There was one, I don't remember the name of it anymore. I gifted it to my older sister for Christmas one year, but it was about a young woman who had been falsely tried for being a witch. She runs away from her abusive town and discovers this world of fairies and dragons, and there's a lot of intrigue, and it was just very good. It was a very good read, though not great because I don't remember the exact plot of the book. If it was a great read, I would have remembered the plot of the book. But as far as a mood piece goes, and as far as character psychology goes, it was quite good because you were definitely in the head of a teenage girl who was tried for witchcraft, was not guilty of witchcraft, and then much later on in the book had to reach out to the person who had abused her in the first place because of politics. Though, saying that out loud, it does kind of suck that she had to reach out to the person who tortured her in the first place. Like, that could have been written better, I think. Oh, you know what? I'm going to save this in a different spot. Because we're getting deep into the inking stage here. Jamie has some great expressions. I love drawing Jamie's expressions. Like, full disclosure, I have a lot of fun drawing Jamie, if only because I have been drawing Jamie since I was in college. No, high school. Like, Jamie's been a character in my sketchbooks since high school. So, and when I was drawing them in high school, like, for one thing, I didn't know that non-binary and genderqueer identities existed, but I would flip-flop back and forth between calling them he or she. But more importantly, I practice drawing facial expressions with Jamie the most. So part of the reason that I love drawing facial expressions with Jamie is because I'm just so used to it. And I love doing it because Jamie is so expressive and I love it. Jamie is a fun character to draw. Took me a while to master the hair. I will say that. Took me a while to master what exactly the hair was going to look like. But now that I've gotten it, it's like, yeah, I could draw this face all day, every day. Kind of the same with Allie. Kind of. But Allie's hair was much, much easier to master. Because Allie from Validation, to be clear. Allie from Validation, her hair is just loose, long hair. If you actually read the comic, you'll notice that it starts out straight and then becomes more wild as the story progresses. And that's almost on accident. There we go. Finally got the line right. But yeah, Allie's hair was pretty much accidental with that transition from straight to wild, but then the wild just stuck. Because when I made that transition from drawing her hair straight to drawing it more wavy, I was like, well, I just realized I've been giving her Zeta Wonder Gal hair. I'm just going to keep it. And I was like, I've not sought a rationalization for the change, but you know what? Readers can find their own rationalizations, and that's fine. Because stories do belong to the readers. After a certain point, the story ideas that you have stop being yours once you've put them on the page and you put them out for public view, because you can't control what the readers are going to think. You can do your best to communicate clearly what your ideas are. And if you are a clear communicator, then the ideas that the reader gets from your books will be closer to what you intended. If you are a bad communicator, the reader is going to assume things that you did not intend. So writing and crafting stories is an exercise in clear communication for what ideas you are trying to get across on the page. Meh. We had a Keurig for a long time, too, with my ex-wife. We used refillable cups for coffee. Perfect cup every time. Oh, you know what? You're lucky, because this Keurig, it's a perfect amount half the time. And then the other half of the time, it doesn't make enough coffee. And I'm like, there we go. Anyway, perfect. Yeah. Really wish my Keurig was like that. High school was a rather long time ago for me. Same, but that's fine. 1 sec. I'm going to have some bagel. I have the munchies. Yeah, sorry. I had to put that one user in timeout for like 5 minutes because I just don't have the patience for trolls right now. Like, if you want to ask a sincere question, go ahead. But I do not have the time for trolls. I know I said right now I don't, but anytime. I do not have the patience for trolls. There we go. Safe progress so far. All right, have some tea. Also, bold of you to assume that I am a liberal. I don't tend to talk politics very much, but I do regard liberal as separate from progressive. But that's only because of my experience having done a lot of volunteer work in a lot of social justice circles. But it's a personal thing, and labels are flexible, and they can mean anything that the holder of the label wants it to mean. For other layers. There we go. I will specify, though, that that particular view of politics is my own and does not represent the views of NeverEnding. NeverEnding has made statements regarding several things in the past. You can check those out at beneverending.com. But any view that I say on this live stream is my own and does not represent NeverEnding's. Just so we're clear. I let my wife and manager handle the politics. I don't understand most of politics anyway. That's fair. Maybe it's because of having studied some art that was more political. I do like the distinction that Folding Ideas on YouTube made, because there's a difference between political and partisan. I do not mind talking about politics, but I do not like talking about partisanship. And again, these views are my own. They do not represent the views of NeverEnding. I am going to put that disclaimer on the bottom of the screen right now before I go any further. So the way that I interpret it is that politics is just any time that you're talking about a dynamic that involves wealth, privilege, access to anything, or who doesn't have those things. Partisanship is talking about Republicans versus Democrats, which I don't want to get into that stuff. I do not mind talking about politics, if only because that's something that's talked about a lot in art school, which is how do we make art more accessible to everybody? Who do we allow to see art, engage with art, things like that. So that's something that's discussed in art school. I feel like it should be discussed a bit more, if only because not everybody has access to go to art school or study art or anything like that. I do appreciate that there are more art museums that are making attendance free. More museums need to do that. I actually recently moved to the Toledo area, and the Toledo Museum of Art is free to attend. Thank goodness. But there definitely needs to be more done to make art more accessible to the everyday person. And I'm talking like more of the abstract stuff, the stuff that makes the everyday Joe, like Joanne and Cletus, like scratch their head and go, why is this art? Like Joanne and Cletus may not know why there was a live art installation recently where somebody, and I kid you not, this is something that actually happened. Somebody made a 2-scale replica of the Parthenon and constructed it out of banned books on a site where Nazis burnt books. That artist has balls, if you don't mind my saying so. Like, there was an artist who made a public art installation of a life, like a life scale Parthenon, built it out of banned books, and put it on a Nazi book burning site. That kind of stuff I can get behind. But that's a political piece, if I have ever heard of one. But it's that kind of stuff that I can dig. And it's that kind of stuff I do not mind talking about. I also don't mind talking about Ai Weiwei. Ai Weiwei is a very political artist. But when it comes to Republicans versus Democrats, no, I'm not going to entertain those. No. I'm just going to munch on some bagel for a hot minute. Oh no, pesto got on my tablet. We can't have that. Oh. Oh no. My screen did a thing. Hold on. Oh geez. Oh no. Oh no. Well, hopefully you can hear me, but it looks like there's been a technical hiccup. Oh geez. Okay. How do I fix this? Jesus. Oh no. Like, okay. What did I do? I seem to have gotten rid of my screen. Oh geez. Okay. Ah! Is this how I fix it? Oh geez. Nope. Oh geez. Okay. Oh boy. Okay. I don't know how this happened. Okay. Well, I'm going to restart everything right now, and I will be back in just a minute because I have no idea what I just did, but I have I mean, it looks like everything is still running kind of smoothly, but like I can't see anything on my screen. Like I can't bring up the windows. All I can see is my desktop, and I can't bring up the windows. I don't know how to fix this. So, this is dumb. Like, technology, the frick are you doing? Okay. All right, I'm going to restart the computer. Bear with me for just a minute. There we go. Okay. I don't know what the heck happened, but like, from what I can tell, your end was fine, but on my end, all of the windows just shrunk and would not boom back up. So I just, all right. All right. Well, I restarted everything. Everything's back to how it should be, which is good. I'm going to get Clip Studio back up again. Okay. I'm going to share the screen. Okay. So now that we have that, I wasn't anticipating on this, but I was working on a page of the legend Jamie Roberts, and I have since closed it because I had to restart the computer because of technical issues on my side for whatever reason. So, yes, welcome back. Success. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody. So, I am available for your requests. Are there any requests that you have for me to draw? I'm pretty much open to anything, but I do reserve the right to say no. And I mostly bring that up because we had a troll pop in and try to ask questions, and I'm not in the mood for that. But I could draw anything that you request in the chat, in the live chat. I could draw the legend of Jamie Roberts some more, or I could work on some commissions that I've been asked to draw. I'm pretty flexible. What would you like to see me draw? Carlos, you did. I don't know if you saw this, but I have a little Coca-Cola glass full of raspberries. They're delicious. How are Scarlet and Bri-Bri? I actually got an update on Scarlet this morning because Scarlet lives with Kia now. She's actually warming up to the other animals, which is good. I was actually quite shocked because, like, between Scarlet and Bri-Bri, Scarlet is the one that warms up to other animals the least. Like, she barely tolerated Bri-Bri, and that's only because they had lived together for like the first 14 years of their life. And then Kia moved into the house, and she brought her dog, her roommate's dog, and her roommate's kitten. And that's a lot of animals for Scarlet to handle. But at the same time, the kitten is remarkably shy, and the two dogs are elderly. One of them is blind and deaf, so he's basically a lump that just lays there and scratches at himself. The other elderly dog is very submissive. So I imagined that Scarlet would become kind of the queen of the roost and she would take over as like the lead of all of the animals. And it kind of looks like that is going to be the case. Like she is going to be the mama cat and she's going to be the boss of all the other animals in the house. Because from what I can tell, there was only a little bit of hissing when she saw Navi, the kitten, but then otherwise no growls. And I'm impressed because for like the last 3 weeks that Scarlet and Bri-Bri lived together, there was nothing but growls coming from Scarlet. Bri-Bri is doing really well. Though she keeps making a mess out of her area where I keep the food and the water. So I have cleaned it up a bit. And I've also started putting her food on paper plates because I want to try to minimize the amount of whisker fatigue that she goes through, especially since she's still kind of recovering from having 5 teeth yanked out of her mouth. She's eating more, which is good. Also tiny Coke glass. Regarding the updates on Scarlet and Bri-Bri, we also brought Alex's cat, Boo Boo, into the apartment. We're keeping Boo Boo in Alex's room for a few days because Boo Boo has never moved before, and which is impressive because she's like 7 years old, but she's never moved to a new house. So we are taking our time with Boo Boo. We're not introducing her to Bri-Bri yet. We're going to give it a couple of weeks before we try to do any kind of introductions. Bri-Bri knows there is another cat. She has not made any attempts to dart into Alex's room. She's not made any attempts to like sniff at the door that I know of, but she can hear Boo Boo on occasion and her little ears will perk up and then she'll go into the hallway to investigate and then things will get quiet and then she'll come back over to my side and just kind of pace a bit. But otherwise, like, we haven't made any attempts to try to introduce the two cats yet. I think they'll get along, but we want to take our time. We don't want to put too much stress on Boo Boo. Commissions. Okay. So I will work on commissions then. I'll go ahead and get a banner going. Oh, so happy they are doing good. Me too. I'm really happy. I'm also really happy that because Kia sent me a picture update on Scarlet. Scarlet looks happy and healthy and alert, and that's good. I was a little worried, but she's doing okay. She's doing more than okay. She's doing great. Back to putting a banner at the bottom of the screen. Where is it? There it is. Yay. Okay, so I'll go ahead and get some commissions going. Where is, I gotta, hold on. I gotta do a thing. I have to do this because I have an external hard drive that I keep a lot of stuff on. There we go. There. Now we got this situated. Where is... I thought I downloaded the other one. Oh, there she is. Right in front of my face. Okay. Somebody on the NeverEnding team, Molly, did the color flats for me, which is good. So now I'm just going to go in and put some shading in to give some more depth to the piece. I'm also going to make sure that like everything is filled in the way that it's supposed to be. Looks like she did a good job though. Hot dang. Yeah, she did a really good job. Oh, there is a spot. One sec. Robes. I'm going to unlock that layer so that I can do that. Just going to go through and touch up wherever I see the colors are like a hawk. Oh, that's probably the skin layer. Unlock that. That's interesting. Huh. There's in here and in here. There's slight little color corrections that I want to make, and I don't know how to make them. Hold on. Aha! Found them. Okay. I mean, it's minor, but I know they are there. Okay. Save the progress so far. So I'm going to shrink that up. Thanks. And start a new layer. Shades. Going to set that to multiply at 35%. And I'm going to actually turn the base off. Do the thing. That is nice. Isn't it though? Like Molly did a really good job. I think, this is interesting. I should get my color wheel actually. Yeah, I'm going to cheat and use a color wheel, but it's not really as much of a cheat so much as it is like trying to think of a good color to use for a shade base, because we're dealing with a lot of reds and blues. So we're going to have a little color wheel here. I'm working on the shade side, so I'm going to say probably red violet as the color base, because there's a lot of reds and violets and blues, and that's what we're working with. So if we're doing a split complementary, we're going to do a green yellow for shading as a light source. So I think I will do that, because I can't really do a triad because there's not a third like source of shadows. I could do a triad if I wanted to put highlights in though, which I may not. I think I'll just do the complementary thing and put green yellow as the shadows. So the green yellow is about here-ish. Bring it about here, and there we go. Yeah, and the reason that I want to work with the color wheel to the best of my ability is to make sure that everything pops and that nothing looks muted or gross. The less it looks muted and gross, the better. Let's see. Where is it? No, that's miscellaneous. Robes? Is it in the robes layer? No. Ah, found it. It's in this one. I'm going to unlock that layer because I need to fix that. Any other spots I missed? Doesn't look like it. Okay. Shoop. Shades. Shrink that back down. Yeah, full disclosure, the one reason that I did not do the color flats for this particular piece is because the NeverEnding art team is working as a team. I am not used to this because I am used to making all art assets on my own. And now it's like, by the way, if you need somebody to help make this piece, you can delegate stuff. And I'm like, I can do what? So I am not used to delegating things. That said, really happy that Molly can help with color flats. That helps a lot. Oh, hold on. I noticed there's a little schmutzy over here. Let me see which layer that's on. I'll bet you it's with the dragon stuff. Boop. Doot. No, pink. Yeah, it's that one. Erase that. There we go. Oh, hold on. Okay. Pink is this layer here. Touching it up a bit. Gonna zhuzh it up a bit. Hair layer, because there's a couple of spots in through here that can stand to be touched up a bit. I'm very detail oriented and persnickety, but that's a me thing. I will fully embrace that. I'm going to embrace that this is a me thing. Noticing all this stuff. Okay. Okay. Oh, I'm going to touch that up a bit. I'll bet you it's in the, yep. Unlock this layer. There we go. Touch that up. And boom. Oh, and over here too. Okay. Now that I have touched all that up, I'm going to shrink everything back down and go back to the shades. Get some depth in. For those of you who want to play around with putting flats into your art pieces, the easiest way to do it is to just go to the paint bucket tool and hit refer other layers so that it actually fills in between the blacks. But make sure that you set your color layers to multiply. That way it doesn't try to bleed over the lines that you drew. If you got any questions for me, feel free to ask them in the chat. I will answer them to the best of my ability. They can be questions about NeverEnding, working with the NeverEnding team, making comics, Patreon, anything that comes to mind. Just don't be a dick. Here we go. I'm going to add a little depth to the hat. Bring it up in here. And we're just going to do a Bob Ross, and we're going to put some happy little shadows in between these happy little flowers. There we go. That's nice. Carlos, did I ever send you an invite to join the Tiny Dinos Discord? I don't remember. Put the little shadows in this shoulder of the little fey dragon, which, I kid you not, this fey dragon is named Adorable. That is the dragon's name, is Adorable, and I love it. This is actually a character for, I'm trying to remember the name of this group. I'm going to double check my emails to make sure that I get this name right. Okay. Well, I do know that this character's name is Posea. As for the name of this particular group that she's associated with, I don't want to misquote the name, so I'll not say the name quite yet because I don't want to get it wrong. Oh, let's see. How has the work rate on the comic after settling it? Hold on. I need to double check how has the work rate on the comic after settling in? Are you asking like what my work rate has been like since I've moved in? Because I will admit, for the last couple of weeks, the workflow has been whacked out. Turns out that whenever you move, the old habits that you form don't necessarily carry over 100% into the new workspace that you moved into. It used to be that to-do lists worked pretty okay for me. Now I can't stand the sight of to-do lists. And instead, what I do with my bullet journal in particular is I will, at the start of the day, make note of like meetings and make note of what absolutely needs to get done. But then the rest of the day, I'll just put check mark, thing that I got done. Check mark, thing that I got done. I didn't used to do that, but I've liked that flow way better now that I've moved. I can't explain what it is. Yeah, since the move. Yeah. Yeah, no, it like here, I actually have my bullet journal on hand. People can knock on bullet journals all that they want, but it has made keeping track of my to-do lists way, way easier. Like previously, my spreads look like this. Here, I'm going to actually shrink the, there we go. That way you can actually see. Like, this is what an average bullet journal spread looked like for me. Just keeping track of all that stuff. Forgot that I had stickers in the back. I'm just going to move that. But that was what an average page looked like before the move. Now that I have moved, the pages look much more like this, where it's just a series of check marks and what thing I got done. rather than being like, hey, I need to do this thing. Did I get it done? Solid block. I don't do that very much anymore. I rather would just like check, this is what I got done. Check, this is what I got done. Probably I made that shift because as it turns out, I'm not a big fan of the traditional to-do list. The traditional to-do list being, these are all of the things that I need to get done. Not a big fan of that anymore. I would rather like list the most urgent things that need to be done in a particular day at the top. And then everything else is like, oh, by the way, I also got this. By the way, I also did this. Nice to keep it organized to readjust to the new settings. Yes. Yeah. I needed a readjustment, honestly. So I'm really glad for the move forcing me into a new adjustment. It's different though. Like I wasn't sure what the adjustment was going to be, but I like this new setup for the bullet journal much better. And I'm actually getting, on average, more stuff done. Like I did not expect to get this done this week, but with the new system, I actually got letters done for another client who I've been working with for the past 2 years on his graphic novel project. And I finally finished lettering all of his pages this week. I did not expect to get that done this week, but I did. And I feel like part of that is just implementing this new checkmark system rather than the old system that I did before. So yay. And it's also nice to be able to cover everything in sticky notes, because I have like these little speech bubble sticky notes that are adorable. I got them when I went to the Carnegie Museum of Art in Pittsburgh. They come in 3 different sizes. This is size number 2, the little speech bubble. And this is size number 3. So if you needed a, yeah. I love them. I love them to bits. They are great. I keep a work journal on my computer that is a combination of to-do, got done, and tickets to deal with. I copy everything not done to a new file every morning, so I have a history. I did that in traditional form, and that, if that works for you, that's awesome. There's something about if you didn't get it done that day and then you carry it over into the next day, that makes you double check and go, is this really necessary? Do I really need to get this done? That I do like. Sorry, I'm distracted. I'm like all kinds of distracted. Though there was a video I came across recently about, I don't remember what the name of this channel is, but they do a lot of videos about ADHD in adults in particular. And they actually made a video about why bullet journals are the best things for ADHD brains. And it's because no 2 bullet journal pages are the same. Like you don't have to be married to a particular layout. If you decide that particular day, you know what, I'm not going to do this particular layout. I am going to do this thing instead. You can totally do that. Bullet journals allow you to do that. Which is true, because a few years back in 2018, I tried working with a traditional planner to keep track of everything. And then I was like, there's either too much room or not enough room, depending on what it is that I am trying to make note of on that day. And I came across the idea of bullet journaling, and I was like, this makes more sense to me. Now I can be flexible with how big my day looks on paper. So I don't have to try to fit everything into a box that's like this big. And then there are some days that I can barely fit anything into a box that's this big. And there needs to be some flexibility for that. And bullet journaling gives me that flexibility that I really like. Also, I get to just use my variety of line pens. That's great. I have so many mugs off the side here full of tools. I need to get back into doing traditional media. I miss the tactile sensation of working with paper and pen / pencil. like I love working digitally. It is so much faster in so many ways, but in other ways it is slower than traditional media. I feel like I've talked about this last week. But yeah, I want to get back to working with traditional media pretty soon, just to make sure that I still got it. My friend Chloe came over last night for dinner and some short movies, like short films. And we ended up doing a little like show and tell of stuff in our sketchbooks. And we came up with this admittedly weird crossover idea. It's only weird if you don't connect the dots like we did. But there's this crossover idea that we came up with of crossing over the anime Promare with Big Hero 6. And I made a sketch, and I'll post this on Instagram later. I'll shrink this down so that I can show you this sketch because it is adorable. I will ink it and post it on Instagram later, but I'll show it off now because it's precious. Yoink. Though I need to find a way to like block off the top part of this. Here we are. Okay. This little bundle of cuteness. If you have no idea what Promare is about, that's totally fine. But this is one of the Promare characters being hugged by Baymax because Baymax is like, you need to lower your stress levels. It is proven that hugs can lower cortisol. There. The character has a grumpy face, and I love it. More mugs. Oh my God. Here, I will show you more mugs. There's Respect the Stash for some of my markers. The bigger markers. There's also hold on. There's also Heck Yeah. Right now it's just home to the screen cleaner because I don't have anything else to use that for. Though I will use the Heck Yeah mug for watercolor water rinse. And this is a chalkboard mug that I put some Art Snacks stuff on when I had a membership with Art Snacks. And this is for my watercolor brushes. There's some brushes in here too that I used for India inks, but they should be clean by this point. We'll see. I would love to use bullet journals, but I can't write anymore, so I keep files on computers. That's understandable. You got to work with what you got. Hold on, I'm going to clean up my space a little bit. I made a mess. Jessica, you may be familiar with Evernote. That's my favorite digital notebook software. I considered getting premium, but I'm not going to because I only ever use it on 2 devices. Premium gets you Evernote on more than 2 devices, and I don't have a need for that. But Evernote, once you get the hang of it, is like the handiest thing for keeping track of notes. I use it to keep track of recipes, grocery lists. I used to use it to keep track of to-do lists and clocking my time on stuff. I also use it to, I more or less use it nowadays to keep track of various lists that don't make it into the bullet journal, but also links to a lot of stuff. It's like a link aggregate. Like, these are some fun things I would like to buy. These are some fun podcasts that I should listen to in the studio. These are YouTube channels to check out. These are this things to check out. These are web comics I need to catch up on. Stuff like that. That goes into the Evernote. But Evernote's handy for a lot of other things. All right, back to sharing the stream. Or the screen. Screen. I just realized that I have not done a particular behind the scenes thing, but I'll take care of that behind the scenes thing when I am done with the stream. Okay. And I spotted a color thing. Gotta correct it. There we go. I'm very detail oriented. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Oop. That's not what I wanted. Okay. Oh, you know what? It would make shading this a bit easier with some of the darker colors. This is just turn the color off. Mystery solved. Oh, there we go. Yoink. Yeah. I was hoping it would work like that, and it did. But yeah, I've been slowly getting back into the swing of things since the move. It's been a little rough, especially since NeverEnding launched its Kickstarter right around the same week that I just moved into the new apartment. There was just a lot of stress that particular week, and I'm really glad that moving is done, but God. June 1st was the roughest day that I had had in a long, long time, and I'm glad that it's over. Need to clean this up a little bit. Over. Dang it. Over here. Very lightly, because I don't want to get into the little horns of the dragon here. Back to this, so that I can do this, and I just overwrote my shade colors, but that's okay. Here's how we can fix that. I'm just gonna turn these off, because that'll leave only the shade layer present. Eyedropper tool, and that gets you the correct color that you need. Boom! Stress-free. Now I don't have to try to eyeball what color I was using for the shading purposes. Huzzah. That saved me a lot of headaches when I found that tool, I will tell you what. Also, pro tip, you never want to use black to shade things as often as you can. Go with a complementary color so that things pop more, which was why I was looking at complementary colors on the color wheel a few minutes ago, because you don't want to shade with straight black or grays, because that makes an image look washed out, and not very colorful. If you want it to look as colorful as possible, use a complement. There's several different combinations. Complement just means whatever color is opposite on the color wheel. There's a few different variations. And I'll go ahead and get this up. There we go. Okay. Because straight complement would be whatever is opposite on the color wheel. So in this case, the opposite of red violet is green yellow. We're actually going to simplify this and we're just going to rotate to red. The complement to red is green. There's also something called split complementary when you get the two colors that are split beside the complement. So with red, its split complements are blue-green and yellow-green. They are still shades of green, but they are more dynamic colors so that you don't have to use just straight old boring green if you're working with red. There is also something called the triad, where you work with the points that make equidistant triangle points on the color wheel. So the triads with red is blue and yellow. So those are fun. Let's see. There's also monochromatic, which is a single color combined with its tints, tones, and shades. Tints and tones just means like tints are this side, combining colors with white. Tones are combining colors with darker complements. And, oh no, those are shades. Well, tones and shades. Because shades are down here. Tones are up here. Yeah, the color wheel breaks everything down. This color wheel breaks everything down pretty nicely. Yeah, there's various different color combinations. Give them a whirl. I used to use Evernote. I can't use it for work, though, so it's not as convenient anymore. Fair enough. All right. Any other questions that you have for me about the color wheel or how to work with colors, let me know. I will answer them to the best of my ability. Oop. Let's try that again. Gosh darn it. Try that again. There we go. Trying to get it so that it looks like a neck and not just a weird lump of flesh that sits underneath of the hand there. Here we go. Yep. There we go. Oh, let me turn the color flats off to do this part. There we are. That's faster than painting it all in like how I'm doing right now. But I am going to erase some lines to help it pop a little bit more. I would like to apologize on behalf of the dog that is barking outside. My neighbors have a very yippy dog. The thing about that particular dog is I don't think he's been socialized to other dogs. So anytime that this dog sees another dog, this happens. And people wonder why I'm a cat person. There's only ever been one dog that I liked, and that's Kia's dog, Eddie. And the only reason I like him is because he behaves a lot like a cat. He's a trap dog. I feel like I've made this particular observation before, but I'll go ahead and say it again. Eddie is a trap dog, meaning if you are not a dog person, you will meet Eddie and you will think, maybe I am a dog person. Maybe I'll adopt a dog. Don't do it. Eddie is an unusual dog because he doesn't bark. He doesn't yip or howl. The only time that he really like howls or cries out is if we leave him in the house without people. There can be other animals in the house, but if there are no people in the house, he will whine and cry. And it's like, oh God, you're such a neurotic dog. Bagel. Still though, he is a very sweet dog. But not all dogs behave like Eddie. This is going to be fun. I'm really glad that Molly could infer how I wanted the webbing to break down for the dragon on the wings here. Because I didn't really give her any direction on how to handle this other than like when she was like, hey, how would you feel if I did these colors? I was like, go for it. That was about as much art direction as she got, as well as here are the original color sources for Posea, as indicated in the reference images that I got. Have fun. That was about it. That was about as most of the art direction as she got. And she actually did a really good job with that minimal art direction. I'll work my way to the bottom here shortly because the stuff below the chest still needs to get shaded. I usually do this much faster. It's just A, I'm live streaming, B, I'm snacking, C, I'm checking to see if there are a bunch of questions. So, which is fine. Just making that clear. It's fine if you want to ask me questions, because that's what I'm here for, is to answer questions. As long as you're not a dick about it. Twizzlers or red vines? Jelly beans. I'm actually not a fan of Twizzlers or red vines. Like, I'll eat them if I have to and there are no other snacks. I would rather have jelly beans. Barkley is offended. I'm sorry. Barkley is very cute and he's very sweet and I do love him. He's just not Eddie. But I do love Barkley. Barkley is very sweet. For those who don't know, Barkley is Carlos's dog. My ex-wife had an American Eskimo Spitz. Wonderful, friendly dog who was too smart for his own good. Yeah. Some dogs are too smart for their own good. Jelly beans. Yes. I love Jelly Bellies in particular because they've got like root beer flavored jelly beans or popcorn flavored jelly beans. Love those kinds. Sometimes they'll include fruit flavored ones that I actually like raspberry. I don't eat jelly beans very much though. Like, I don't usually eat candies. Most of my snacks are like, oh, here, have a bagel. Oh, here, have some fresh fruit. Oh, here, pretzels, I guess. I don't even really snack on pretzels very much. I'm not much of a snacker, to be honest. But I had to have these snacks on hand because the other thing about moving is that it has thrown off my sleep schedule a lot. Like, I used to be able to get up at like 7 or 8 a.m. in the morning, sometimes as early as 6. Nowadays, it's a struggle to get up out of bed by 10:30. And part of the struggle is because Alex works second shift at her job. The other is that I feel like I'm still recovering from June 1st. June 1st was awful. Again, really glad that June 1st is done and over with, but I still feel like I'm in recovery mode for June 1st. Because June 1st was the day that we loaded up the U-Haul, drove across the state, and then unloaded the truck. It was exhausting. Worst jelly bean flavor. Okay, there were some really gross flavors when Jelly Bellies made the deals with Bertie Bott's Every Flavor beans for Harry Potter. And some of those are just gross. Like, they actually had an earwax flavored one. That was gross. They had a booger flavored one. That was gross. Other than that, if we're talking like the average Jelly Belly jelly bean and not the Bertie Bott's ones, honestly, worst jelly bean flavor for me is, or are, the jelly beans that are not Jelly Belly brand. I don't know what it is about generic freaking jelly beans, but their flavor is non-existent. Like, it's just a bean of sugar. Maybe sugar, but it's mostly corn syrup. Why would I want a bean of corn syrup? If I am going to eat a jelly bean, at least make it tasty. That's my thoughts on it. Again, my thoughts are my own and do not represent NeverEnding. All right. Okay, that did not do what I wanted it to do. There we are. Now it works. No, I do love Barkley. He's a very high energy dog though, which makes sense because he's a black lab. Another reason that Eddie is kind of a trap dog is because he just spends most of his day just sleeping. He's a very lazy dog. Or laying down. Like, he's not super duper energetic. He does get really bouncy and up in your face if he really needs to go to the bathroom, though. Learned that. Because I've had to dog sit for Eddie on occasion. And in the first, 20 minutes that Kia leaves the house, he knows. He knows that mom is gone. And it's a little silly because, when we're getting ready for shopping trips, he will start to shake. Because there's a little part of his doggy mind that's like, oh no, you're going to leave me forever, and I don't know what I did wrong. What did I do wrong? Just let me know. I'll not do it anymore. Please, just don't leave. And It's like, honey, we just need to go and get milk at the store. It's fine. Little neurotic dog. When he was first getting fostered, before Kia adopted him, he was being fostered because he was a stray in Phoenix, Arizona for who knows how long. He was an old dog by the time Kia adopted him. But he was a stray, and then he got rescued. And when they found him, he was like super emaciated and dehydrated. And the foster family tried to crate him, and they discovered he cannot be crated because he will chew through the crate and bust himself out. That scared the foster family when that happened. So we do not crate this dog. I wanted to try to get the cats to a point where they don't regard the cat carrier as bad. Get them to a point of either neutrality or looking at it as like, oh, this is a safe spot. This is where I can go to hide and be safe. I wanted to get to that point with the cats, but I have not gotten them to that point yet. I did get Bri-Bri kind of used to the idea of a crate, but that's more out of sheer necessity because she's had to go to the vet so many times. Hold on. There. Calves and shins can be tricky. Up. Okay. Oh. One moment, y'all. Oh, we got about 20 minutes left on the stream. Okay. Just a little notification. I might actually wrap up the stream 5 minutes early because NeverEnding is having a little team meeting at like 3 o'clock, and I want to make sure that there's some time between the end of this stream and the start of that meeting. So when it gets to about 2:55, I will likely wrap this up. Still, though, we're making good progress, y'all, on working on this thing. Slight color correction now. Got to get into the boots. That layer. Okay. There was a spot. It was bothering me. Okay, back to this. Whew, excuse me. But yeah, it's been a struggle to adjust to a different sleep schedule. I don't know if I'll get back to being able to wake up at 7 a.m. again. That will likely not happen anytime soon. I want to at least get to a point where I can comfortably get up at 10 again, because the last few days, it's been a struggle to get up at like 11. And I end up staying up until like 3 in the morning, which is not what I am used to. And it's weird for me. It's weird for me. I'm not really much of I never considered myself much of a night owl. And yet my sleep schedule lately has been night owl-y. and I don't know what to make of it. I don't know how much longer this sleep schedule is going to last either, because Alex's current job does make her work second shift, but she may or may not be at this job for very much longer. She is looking for other work. So hopefully she will find another job, because right now she doesn't really like the job that she's at. I'm hoping that she will get a new job soon, because she really deserves to get a new job, especially one that pays more. I realize that having a job at this particular juncture is definitely a privilege. Not everybody has that. It's also like a gigantic privilege that what I am doing right now is even something that I can do as a job. Like, that's a big privilege not a lot of people have, especially right now. So I am grateful for the support from y'all to make this happen. I'm grateful for any support that helped make this happen. Truth be told, gratitude is a really good way to curb imposter syndrome. Because I feel like imposter syndrome is a lot of someone looking at what they've accomplished and going, I don't deserve this. And not just looking at it and going, I don't deserve this, but imposter syndrome is also the fear that someone is going to come up and be like, oh no, you can't have that creative job anymore. You need to work at the gas station again. Or you need to work at this mind-numbing retail job again. Or you need to go do this other thing that is not in your creative career field at all, because you can't make money off of this anymore. Like, that's a lot of imposter syndrome, is the fear that somebody is going to come up and be like, oh, no, you can't do this anymore. You need to go back to this previous job that you hated. And I feel like gratitude helps curb imposter syndrome a lot. Like, just being able to say, you know what, I did not get here by myself. There have been friends and family who helped make this possible, and they want to see me keep succeeding. And knowing that there is that support can help curb imposter syndrome. So I hope that helps for anybody who might be feeling that. Watching you do this is like watching Bob Ross. That's perfect. Don't change anything. Okay, that looks good. And so does that. Thank you. Thank you, Carlos. Good luck to her on the job hunt. Yes. Oh my gosh. Best of luck to her. Like, if she doesn't get the one job that she's eyeballing, there's also another job that may work just as well, that also pays more. Either way, however it pans out, I hope for the best for her, because she deserves it. All right. So the colors for Posea are done. Everything is done, actually. It actually turned out pretty darn good, if I dare say so. We are going to do a version with the base background color and one without a base background color. So we're going to do this. And we're going to call this one Pinup 1. And we're going to change the image resolution from 300 to 100, because that's the more web-friendly version. One is a high res, one is for, I really don't want to bust people's computer programs to make them upload this. There it is. All right. And we're going to do a version of this without a base background color. So we're going to merge, delete these layers. To select multiple layers, you just hit one layer, hold down the shift key, and then click the next one. It's the easiest way to do that. Where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? There it is. Boop. We're going to call this one pinup 2, the one without the background. We're going to shrink the resolution to 100 dpi for the web version. And that's done. Excellent. All right. Boop. We'll only take 0.00001% credit. Give yourself more credit than that, my dude. So awesome. Thank you. I'm really glad with how it turned out. But seriously, Carlos, give yourself more credit than that, because it's because of you that I even made it to AwesomeCon and SPX. And it is because of your help that both of those shows went as smoothly and awesomely as they did. So give yourself more credit than just 0.00001%, because you deserve more than that. Alrighty. We have about 10 minutes because I said that I would wrap this up at 2:55 because I have a meeting at 3. So for the next 10 minutes, I could draw or I could answer your questions in the chat. Either way, I'm going to snack some more and also have some tea. Yeah, see, Jessica appreciates your hard work, Carlos. You see that? It's because you're awesome. Draw and snack. Draw and snack. That's what makes the world go round. Sword in the Stone? Anybody? I was thinking about that movie the other day. Fun fact about the Disney movie, The Sword in the Stone, the director, Bill Peet, based the personality of Merlin on the personality of Walt Disney to a degree. Because apparently Disney did a lot of like talking about things in a grand way and everybody being like, what are you talking about? And he's like, well, he also apparently did a lot of, all right, he's your pupil, you'll teach him. Which kind of makes sense the more that you think about it. All I remember is the wizard duel. Oh my God, the wizard duel is the best segment of that movie. I love that. I love the wizard duel segment. Speaking of wizards, I might just draw some more wizard stuff. It's just a question of what kind of wizard. You know what? I'm going to approach it in the abstract. I'm going to do some comic wizardry and work on the legend of Jamie Roberts. Boop. Oh, let me make sure that I can upload this properly. Yes, good. I was a bit concerned because like this was one of the files that I had to restart with the technical difficulties earlier, but it looks like it turned out okay. Oh, I'm still on green. There we go. I fixed it. Oh, I'm going to try that again. That's close enough. I will stick with that. Oh, let me turn off the pencil layer to see how Jamie turned out. I'm going to move the eye parts up a bit. Selection pen. I'm going to actually shrink the brush size of that. There we are. There are a few different ways to approach the marquee tool, which is what I'm working with. There. That's better. Yeah, that's more the look that I was going for with Jamie. That works. Turn the pencil layer back on. Yay. Okay. Just 5 more minutes. Let's see what I can accomplish in the next 5 minutes. Really should have specified that the earlobe goes about here-ish. There's that. Okay. Let's try that again. There we go. The tattoo's on the left arm. I had to think on that for a minute. All right. That's not great. That's not great. I can do that again. Let me turn the pencil layer off so that I can just redraw this. I don't like how this turned out. There. You know what? I'm drawing this arm at the wrong angle. That's what the problem is. That's much better. Shabu. And that's done. Almost time. I know I'm keeping tabs, keeping close tabs. It's really neat how all of those layers work together. Thank you. I much prefer working with layers, but it is really fun to see how everything all ties together. I want to draw Thomas before I draw Egypt. Thomas is this guy over here. Thomas the Tank. I know that's a nickname for a YouTuber, but I also like it for my character Thomas. Because he's the tank of the group. He's the boxer. Turn the pencil layer off so that I can ink that in. That's better. Pencils. And okay, it is now time. So I am going to close this out. And there we are. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me for this particular live stream. I may take a break from live streaming next week. I will keep you posted on my blog, whichever way that it falls. You can find my blog at this link, kelseydcrawford.com. I'll make an announcement one way or the other if I'm going to do a live stream or if I'm going to not do one next week. Still trying to get the hang of things, settle in and all that. Also, there's just a lot of work that I got to catch up on, so we'll see. Might just take a break from live streaming for a bit just to catch up on some things. I'll keep you posted. Thank you for joining, Jessica. Thank you for joining, Carlos, and thank you for watching if you were not active in the chat. Also, if you're watching this on the replay, because this will post as a replay after this goes live. So if you are watching the replay of this, be sure to check out NeverEnding on Kickstarter. The Kickstarter campaign link is at tinyurl.com/neverending-app. I made a tiny URL out of it because the original link was like this long, and I was like, nope, people are not going to remember that. So tinyurl.com/neverending-app. Check that out. Check out the Kickstarter. If there's something that you like, go ahead and back us. If you're broke, share the campaign with your friends. Every share helps more than you know. Thank you for the flowers, Carlos. All right. I'm going to scoot so I can get ready for this 3 o'clock meeting. Thank you so much for watching. Stay posted on kelseydcrawford.com for more updates. That's it for me for today. Thank you for watching. You are awesome.